Hello all, this is the Owl. Happy 2023! It's going to be a big year, with Baby Owl on the way. A massive thank you to those who've left us super thanks or patrons. It really is going to help. Diapers are bizarrely expensive, yo. But we're also going to be doing some crazy new manga, the end of Binary Star, and, well, another fun game. So, to ring in the new year, and to celebrate the anime, which has managed to be somehow both very popular and really divisive. And as there's been a fair few folks asking when I would do it, today we're going to continue with our little series on Chainsaw Man, which I'd best describe as Tokyo Ghoul by way of One Punch Man, which does make sense as author Tatsuki Fujimoto was mentored by Sui Ishida and One. Or do you say that ONE? I'm never sure. And yeah, it's a trip, like a more insane Gantz or a less insane Dorohedoro. Last time we met Denji, our protagonist, who I'm 99% convinced was directly inspired by Ginshi Shirazu from Tokyo Ghoul, a hard-luck street kid, his only friend the adorable chainsaw devil Pochita. After they are mortally wounded by the Yakuza, Pochita fuses with Denji, becoming his heart and allowing him to transform into the hybrid chainsaw devil form. He's rapidly drawn into the world of the government devil hunters by the mysterious and beautiful Makima, who basically seduces him, and before too long, he's joined a special devil hunting squad. Probably another nod to Tokyo Ghoul now that I think about it, consisting of the stoic Sasuke, Aki, the brash Power, who, by the way, is apparently based on Eric Cartman and what's-his-face from The Big Lebowski, the Randy Himeno, the timid and quite possibly bonkers Kobeni, who's responsible for a lot of inexplicable memes that I cannot post on YouTube, and the, well, Arai. Their target is the nearly omnipotent gun devil, who appears to have plans of his own. After the squad, and by the squad I mostly mean Denji, defeat the Eternity Devil, where we learn that devils and fiends are one thing, but hybrids are a cut above. The Gun Devil plays a particularly vicious gambit, in which most of the devil hunters are gunned down, and the rest are attacked by a duo of hybrid devil humans, much like the Chainsaw Man, Snake and Katana, and the squad gets their cheeks roundly clapped. Himeno sacrifices herself, which, damn, that was sad, and Aki gives most of his remaining lifespan to the Curse Devil, but their sacrifice was in vain, as they are just overwhelmed by the hybrids. Yeah, we're playing by StarCraft 2 rules, I guess. And they leave, carrying Denji's unconscious torso. However, all the way from a mountaintop shrine in Kyoto, Makima demonstrates her own bizarre abilities, kaploding a whole bunch of Gun's minions by sacrificing convicts. So, something between telekinesis and voodoo curse, and this allows a now berserk Kobeni to engage the hybrid duo, freeing Denji. We left them in the aftermath, battered and bruised as they mourn Himeno and Arai. Today, we'll get to see what happens next. Denji and Power are met by Makima, who tells them that they're going to be trained. No, not what she means, Denji, bonk, and directs them to a mysterious old dude who we later learn is called Kishibe. We get a really fun little exchange where he asks them about their motivations, and they give pretty wild or counterintuitive answers, revealing that neither are especially loyal to mankind, with Power saying she'll always side with whoever is winning. Yeah, Power's a bit of a coward, and that almost rhymes, and Denji saying that he'll side with anyone who takes care of him. But it turns out that this is what Kishibe was asking for, which makes sense, I guess. Remember, the number one factor looked for in a special devil hunting unit is being at least mildly unhinged. They don't need loyalty, they need right crazy bastards looking to kick some names and take some ass. Oh yeah, and then Kishibe easily takes both of them down in one move. Yay! It's this character, the eccentric master. But as Fujimoto loves to introduce the tropiest of the shonen tropes and then play around with them and subvert them, this dude is going to be a treat. He tells them that he's pretty damn powerful and that their training goal is to be able to beat him, because of course it is. However, their next attempt winds up with both of them on their asses, and we learn that while Denji is immortal as a hybrid, Power is a fiend, and thus only tough as nails. Keep that in mind. Oh, and I guess that the twist is that this guy is a psychopath, but knowing this manga, he is going to have a really soft heart underneath the pineapple. After spending the day getting their asses paddled by Kishibe, Power suggests that as this guy is just so much stronger than them, they need to try and outsmart him. Oh, this should be good. Have I mentioned that I love this manga? They ambush him at home, with Power demonstrating a new application of her blood control abilities, using several stored bottles of blood to attack Kishibe from another position. And yes, this is another almost certain nod to Tokyo Ghoul, which in turn allows a wonderfully ridiculous looking Denji to attack him from the rear. It doesn't work. He explains their weaknesses. Power's abilities exsanguinate her rapidly, meaning that she's strong but has no staying power, and Denji, in turn, has no idea how to fight and relies on brute strength alone to get the job done. I'm not sure why Denji isn't busting out his transformation here, to be honest. But whatever, it's still a really fun little interlude. Aki, meanwhile, has now recovered from the battle, but is unable to use Curse or Fox anymore, and so he's escorted by Makima's assistants to contract with a new, stronger devil, specifically the Future Devil. That's actually a genius concept. Everyone is at least mildly leery of the future, right? This guy is plenty strong, and sure enough, they warn Aki that the stronger the devil, the nastier the contracts tend to be. We meet the Future Devil, who, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the coloration here. This tree-like creature looks way more sinister in the original manga and is a psychedelic head trip in the anime. Oh yeah, because he's completely nutty buddies. You know, a sane character in the story would be quite unique. After checking Aki's future, the devil offers him a very chill contract. All he needs to do is let the creature reside in his right eye so he can see Aki's fate play out in real time. Well, that's not ominous at all, especially after this butthole tells Aki that he's going to die in the worst way possible. Oof. But Aki assents, and now, we have the stoic, dark-haired rival character on a quest for familial revenge that also has a space-time related ability tied to his eyes. I wonder what this could be referencing. Back over to Denji and Power, who are still getting fed their own feet by Kishibe. He tells them that they've actually improved dramatically and are now ready for their next mission, taking down the hybrid duo, which I'm guessing in turn would leave the Gun Devil without his minions. Oh, and we learn that the special division is Division 4, which, yes, is a little bit of fun wordplay, as the word for four and the word for death are homonyms in Japanese. Denji is pretty chuffed as he tells Kishibe that if he kills enough devils, Makima might give him a date, which concerns the master. Yeah, Denji, when everyone makes that face when you mention a bird, maybe read between the lines, and nobody likes a simp mate. Later, we see Kishibe drinking with Makima, and reveals that he's a bit like Aki, deeply sentimental and troubled by his students always dying, and thus tries to keep them at arm's length, which never works. Yeah, sign another one up for the Caldits. But we also see that Kishibe isn't a moron. He knows that Makima is bad news. However, as long as she's helping to fight the devils, he's willing to look the other way, to which Makima only smiles.
Oh, thanks, Freddy, foreshadowing.
Yeah. Before the next arc proper kicks off, we get a final interlude showing Snake and Katana bickering. Katana still wants revenge against Denji for killing his grandfather at the start of the story. Dude, that guy sucked, and reveals their secret weapon, a massive army of zombos courtesy of Granddad and the Zombie Devil, all packed into their building. I'm guessing they're expecting an attack. And yeah, this is another thing that I really like about this manga. If you leave a dangling loose end, it will come back and bite you in the ass. Meanwhile, Makima's assistants are being dicks to Aki, saying that his big talk about hunting the Gun Devil, one of the strongest devils in existence if not the strongest, after he got his shit pushed in by Katana, is annoying to them. But he responds by telling them that, well, he's going to see this course through, live or die, and they can feel free to mock him all they want once he's dead. Makima, it turns out, is meeting with a Yakuza Oyabun, or boss, and he tells her that the Tokyo attack was by a rogue faction of Yakuza consisting of tearaways from basically all the syndicates, especially as they used guns. Yeah, the Yakuza and their relationship with firearms is complicated. We'll get to that one in just a bit. The Oyabun tells her that Sawatari, the snake hybrid, is basically the gun's XO, and she brokered the deal with the rogue Yakuza and her master, selling them guns and ammo for the paltry sum of 20,000 yen, about $200. This next bit is where things get interesting though. Makima demands the names of not only the renegades from his syndicate, but also all the other syndicates, to which he naturally refuses, as ratting out the other Yakuza families would probably start a gang war, and he tells her that while she may not like them, the Yakuza are a necessary evil, in that they keep Chinese triads and tongs, as well as the Russian mafia, at bay, which is a pretty common perspective in Japan. Without going into too many details, the general attitude towards the Yaks is that, for the most part, you're not going to have trouble with them if you don't go looking for it, i.e., if you get into debt with them or start interfering with their business. The worst they do to the average Joe is extort a bit of protection money, and in return, again, I'm just saying what a common belief is, not my own opinion, before someone decides to quote me out of context. In return for this protection money, they prevent foreign gangsters from gaining a foothold in Japan, as well as more violent local gangs like the upstart Bozoku or biker gangs, who, are perceived as more violent, or at least more randomly violent, while the reality is a lot more complicated. The Yakuza don't typically use firearms, which is why the image of the katana or knife-wielding gangster is so iconic. It's one of the reasons why the Japanese public are so weirdly accepting of the Yakuza, even romanticizing them to an extent, as they'd prefer that their crime be organized, and they fear that, without the Yakuza, the Russians would be bringing in guns, and the Chinese would be flooding the streets with heroin. Yes, as I've said before, Japan's its own thing. Makima responds by handing him a paper bag, which he laughs at scornfully, thinking that it's a bribe. But as it turns out, holy crap, that's dark. It's actually the eyeballs from everyone they know, friends and family. Makima is a believer in necessary evils, but only if they can be collared and controlled by the state. Yeah, again, some clever foreshadowing. Although I do feel like this scene tips the Makima is frigging evil card a bit too soon. Regardless, this is all setting the stage, because this manga is about to go completely off the rails again. Before that though, let's take a short break.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Sometime later, all the remaining devil hunters gather and head to the aforementioned building to settle things with the duo, naturally running into the horde of zombies, with the duo outside preparing to head in and counterattack. We also meet probably my single favorite character in the manga, and definitely my favorite group of characters, as we see a strange shape appear in the wall near the zombie basement. Again, how can I not love this manga? That design is brilliant. Meet the Shark Fiend, Beam. His ability is that he can treat any surface like a liquid and swim around in it. a bit like Senor Pink from One Piece, who, now that I think about it, also had a weird gangster thing going on. He's joined by another kick-ass character, the violence fiend Galgali. Okay, yeah, while Beam is more fun, this dude might be the most interesting character, and we'll learn a fair bit more about him as the story goes on. Cliff notes: while he's technically just a fiend, like Power and Beam, he is so crazily powerful that he has to wear a special eye patch, Doctor de la Plaga mask, to suppress his devil. Makes sense. Devils are ranked according to how many people are scared of them, or at least the concept they represent, and how deep this fear is. And people are scared of violence. Also, as you may have noticed, the fiends have strange names, even by shonen manga standards, and there's a reason for that, but we'll get into it in a later video. The next member of this group is the spider fiend Princey. Anyone who calls her Prince is dead wrong, but again, I will explain later why. She's got another great and bonkers design, although why is there a zipper on her face? Maybe there's some pun on zipper and spider in Japanese that I'm not aware of. Finally, we meet Angel, the Angel Devil. That's just fun to say. This dude's a lazy bastard who can steal life energy by touching someone's skin to skin, and is amazingly chill and peaceful for a fiend. Aki's there too, and between them, they are kicking all the ass. As Aki cuts his way through the Yakuza minions and the zombies, he is suddenly confronted by Snake, who immediately gobs out the Ghost Devil, previously Himeno's form. Oof. And this brings Volume 4 to a close. Volume 5 jumps right back into the action, with the now enhanced and prescient Aki battling Ghost. His contract with the Future Devil gives him the ability to see slightly into the future. So yeah, he's basically Sasuke. I don't mind, as I'm sure Fujimoto is going somewhere with this character. He actually puts up a pretty good fight, but Ghost eventually overwhelms him and grabs him by the throat. This next bit is odd, and I don't fully understand it. Maybe it'll come up later. Aki flashes back to his time with Himeno, who tried to get him to smoke with her, but when she found out he was a minor, seriously, Mrs. Robinson, you need to dial it back, told him that she'd keep the smoker for him and he could enjoy it when he was of age. However, we see one of Ghost's hands reaches out to him and offers him that cigarette. Wow, that's really sad. I'm guessing Himeno is still in there somewhere. And we also learn that the Ghost Devil cannot see, but locates people by their fear. Aki, having already accepted his death, calmly strolls through the limbs and beheads Ghost. Sawatari prepares to unleash Snake, but Aki then says, "Don't kill her," as Kobeni pops up behind her like she was frigging Ghostface. Over to Denji and Power. Power is nomming on a zombie arm. That is foul, but these two are just, man, so much fun together. But take note of a bit more foreshadowing, as Denji expresses disgust, but Power tells him that, well, meat is meat. They emerge into a room packed to the rafters with zombies, and Denji tells Power to be quiet. so they can sneak by. Which, of course, causes Power to scream and rush in. Yeah, it's funny, but it's also a good bit of characterization, as Power is now overcompensating for her cowardice nearly getting them all killed when they fought the hybrid duo. Denji, in turn, is about to wade in after her, but is stopped by, oh crap, Katana emerges and tells Denji that they don't have to fight. The only reason why they're doing this is because Denji killed his grandfather and his friends in cold blood. He then reveals his intentions. If Denji lets Katana kill him, or I guess take his heart, Katana will instruct, presumably, the renegade Yakuza to stop. Denji isn't a moron, so he tells him to get bent, which, oh hell yeah, kicks off one of my favorite fights in the series, as both of them transform and take their fight to the skies outside the building. Kick ass. Denji and Katana bust through the roof of a passing train, and it's on like Donkey Kong. There's quite a bit between these two characters, with Denji having killed this chap's beloved grandfather, and Katana having indirectly killed one of Denji's only friends. Initially, they seem quite evenly matched, probably due to the training Denji's been undergoing. But it doesn't take long for Katana to get the, shall we say, upper hand, severing Denji's arm as he defends a civilian. Katana takes his Iaido stance, and using this seemingly unstoppable technique, cuts off Denji's other arm. Katana prepares to do a final pass, and Denji squares off against him. Yeah, this entire sequence is done quite a bit like a sword fight in a classic samurai flick. After a bit of sword fighting, both opponents square off and basically make passes, with us not seeing the attack and only the result. This time, all Denji can do is kick, and keeping with the samurai movie style, it turns out that while Katana got a good hit in, Denji's apparently useless flying kick split him in half vertically. Seriously, how the hell is this a shonen, which causes all of his innards to burst out? Wow! This bit was so gory in black and white that I would almost certainly have had to censor it. Thank you, Colored Council. As you've probably guessed, Denji can now extrude a chainsaw blade from his leg, with which he was able to catch Katana unaware. When Katana awakens, yeah, hybrids really are pretty much immortal. He's tied and secured to the train. Aki shows up, and Denji, crikey Moses, tells him that they're going to compete to see who can kick him in the nuts harder, as payback for Himeno's death. Aki is initially reluctant, but seeing the cigarette Himeno somehow passed to him via ghost, smiles and joins in. Yeah, as you might have guessed, Fujimoto is a great big South Park fan.
So I kicked him square in the nuts, and he cried like Nancy Kerrigan.
With the duo captured, the battle is won, and we get, yeah, this colorization isn't always perfect, but holy crap, this panel is gorgeous. But whatever happened to Snake after Kobeni captured her? Well, as Makima reveals during her debriefing, Snake had been charged with retrieving Denji's heart. But before she could tell them more, the Snake Devil inexplicably turned on her and ripped off her head. What the hell? Regardless, with the hybrid duo defeated, and the renegade Yakuza wiped out, Makima tells her overseers that it's time for them to move against the gun devil proper. So, what's that going to look like? And what is Makima up to? What is the gun devil's next play? And why does he want Denji's heart? What is this strange door that Denji is starting to see in his dreams, with Pochita's voice telling him to never open it? Well, for that, you'll have to wait until next time. Before we finish for the day, I want to give a huge thanks, as always, to my fantastic patrons: Asterix Gaming, Cheerful Satanist, Starwin Marwin, High Lord J, Jacob Ramsey, Crazy, Kel Core, Lance Goebel, Paul Norberger, Piece of Yeast, Rafferty, Robert Dote, and XTC Pill. If you want to see more like this, why not stick around? Subscribe, bell, you know the drill. If you want to help Mrs. Owl and I out, and ensure that I can keep on doing what I do, or if you just feel like buying Baby Owl a treat, you could always head over to our Patreon. You'll get some fun perks on the Discord, as well as early access to most of my videos. Oh right, Discord and Patreon are that-a-way, and by that-a-way I mean in the description. Take care, my friends, and cheers. This is the Owl, signing off.
Gonna